All right, guys, welcome into Ball Knowledge with Teddy Ball. I'm Teddy Ball. It's my first kind of video covering UFC. So for the most part, I've covered um, strictly football on this channel so far, but I wanted to branch out a little bit. It is currently 2 o'clock in the morning following UFC 319, and I thought what time better than now to talk about the card. We will be talking strictly about main card, although there were some really good fights on the prelims, fight of the night even. But some notable ones here. Alibi Adiris was defeated by Joseph Morales. That was the Ultimate Fighter conclusion. Joseph Morales, the flyweight, with a 14-2 record. I haven't finished the Ultimate Fighter to really have a whole lot about that, and I wasn't even there to watch that fight. But I've seen both of them fight at least once on the Ultimate Fighter. And Alibi, from what I understand, if I am right about this, I'll go over here. My desktop capture. Pretty sure he was the favorite. Yeah, minus 550 pre-fight favorite, and got submitted in the second round by Joseph Morales. So Joseph Morales, you're tough enough. 33 winner. Chase Hooper KO'd at the end of round one. That was something I definitely wasn't predicting from Alexander Hernandez, but Chase Hooper, kind of a big upset. He's one of the brighter young prospects in the division at lightweight, and got clipped there at the end of the round. Jessica Andrade and Lupi Godinez had probably the fight of the night from pretty consensusly what I've seen around. I got there at the end of the prelims. I had work, but from what my buddies told me, I haven't gotten a chance to go back and watch it, but from what I saw on Twitter, what my buddies told me, this was the fight of the night. So it sucks that I missed it. So overall, that's why I'm talking about the main card. Starting off with Tim Elliott and Kai Asakura. I just want to say, round one, Kai Asakura really impressed me. He was very fast on the feet. There's no doubt about it that Kai Asakura has the pure skill to strike with the best of the best at flyweight. But since his fight back in December, was it December or maybe early this year with Pantoja, it's evident he's just not there on the ground. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that Kai Asakura isn't entertaining to watch fight, because he is. He's one of, honestly, my favorite guys to watch fight. All flyweights that strike are entertaining, but I don't know, Tim Elliott just used his experience there, got the sub, and just that guillotine. That guillotine is what has gotten Kai Asakura so far through his UFC tenure. I think as well he was a pretty favorable favorite in this one. Yeah, minus 300. Yeah, you could see off rip just the hand speed that he has is kind of unrivaled. I don't know, but unfortunate for Kai Asakura, 0-2 to start his UFC tenure, like I mentioned, and that was just about it. Tim Elliott, coming off of a big hiatus, hasn't fought since 2023, and dealing with kind of some personal issues and stuff like that outside of the octagon, but he's 38 years old, and for him, I mean, thinking about what could be next, I could see a Manel Kape fight. I'm not sure if Manel Kape has a fight lined up already. I know he was supposed to fight at 317, but he had that foot fracture. Yeah, Tim Elliott, I believe, was ranked 11th going into the fight, so he'll probably move up a couple spots after that. Kai was 15th. He probably drops out of the rankings after tonight, which is crazy considering, most of these guys that are coming in are coming off of championships and other promotion. He was a championship in Ryzen, and has just not been able to hold up to that level of competition so far in the UFC. So Tim Elliott, victory in round two, submission. Moving on, Jared Cannonier and Michael Venom Page. This one I was wrong about. I betted on Jared Cannonier to win this fight. I thought, although Michael Venom Page has fought at higher weight classes before, he's talked about even on that Mighty Mouse podcast I watched the other day, even wanting to fight at 205. I thought the size, not necessarily size, because Michael Venom Page is a big guy, but I thought just the overall experience at that higher weight of Jared Cannonier. He used to fight at heavyweight. He used to fight at 205, and now down at 185. I thought that was really going to be a factor for Michael Venom Page, and he just off rip showed just how elite he is on the feet. I mean, his ability to move, he's so quick. You saw that, and just kind of has that funky style to it that it's just not traditional. He's kind of, always emoting and doing that stuff like Wing C, but he's just elite on the feet, and Jared Cannonier was not able to contend with him. I thought Jared Cannonier was going to push him against the fence a lot more, maybe go for a couple more takedowns, and there were times where he would, and he saw a little bit of success there, but especially in that third round. But overall, Michael Venom Page was very he did a very good job about keeping Jared Cannonier at distance and managing that distance, managing that range, and just outstruck him. And that was overall just how it came out. So Michael Venom Page, moving on, the middleweight division, he definitely established himself going into it as unranked, but he definitely established himself as a guy that could contend. Overall, middleweight is pretty open, especially after the main event tonight. RDR is still fighting for a chance there, but yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of guys that you could really make a case, but at the same time, Michael Venom Page coming off a good win against Jared Cannonier, who although ranked 11th, is kind of has been one of those. There's a term for it, but he's guarded that top 10 in a way like Robert Whitaker has for the elite championship guys, and how Izzy has over the past couple of fights that he's had. Jared Cannonier's consistently been in the mix at middleweight, and so he's a respectable guy to beat. Michael Venom Page made it look pretty easy, so congrats to him. He proved me wrong. Moving on to the co-main event. All right, up next we'll be talking about the Carlos Prates and Jeff Neal fight. This fight was so fun to watch. I know it was only one round. In the last second, Carlos Prates gets the spinning elbow KO. 9th in UFC history, only to be followed by the 10th one fight later, which the odds of that, I don't even know. But Carlos Prates coming off a loss to Ian Machado Gary. One of the things going into this week, I was listening to the Ariel Helwani show when he had him on, I think last Tuesday or something, and he was talking about how he needs to focus more about just going in there and winning, and not necessarily the highlight reel KOs or anything like that. And then he proceeds to have the biggest highlight reel KO of his career. Someone needs to check if Jeff Neal is still okay. They never really confirmed it. But Carlos Prates, just probably the best way you can come back from a loss, to just show that you're still elite. You're still one of the best in the division. Now, after the fight, calling out Leon Edwards, that's a fight I would love to see for both of them, because Leon is still a very elite striker. Now, I know he was kind of regarded as a very weak champion, but he's still very good. Obviously, he's one of the top in that division, one of the top in the world even. And Carlos Prates is the perfect matchup for him. That'll be a fun fight. As for Jeff Neal, take some time off. That was rough. But Carlos Prates is a star, and yeah, so goes in as the favorite. I don't think anybody really is too surprised that he won, obviously, but just the way he won was elite. And yeah, Carlos Prates is the real deal. We'll see what's going on with him. Hopefully he does end up fighting that Leon Edwards fight if Leon accepts. I guess it's already confirmed that he will be fighting in Brazil, so in home territory. That'll be fun. He'll have a lot. I can only imagine the support he would have in Brazil. But yeah, Carlos Prates TKO in round 1 over Jeff Neal. You want to talk about a crazy KO in Carlos Prates? Lerone Murphy arguably had a better spinning back elbow KO just one fight later. To think there were 9 or only 8 before that to start the night, and then you leave with two spinning back elbow KOs just back to back. The odds of that happening, I don't even know what the statistics would be. But Lerone Murphy, in my opinion, had the KO of the night. You can put it up between the two. I think Lerone's was a little bit more impressive. Aaron was going in and just kind of hit perfectly. Regardless, both of them were awesome. Lerone Murphy proved to everybody tonight that he is legit. And moving forward for him, I think. Actually, I just saw Alex Volkanovski already tweeted, "See you in December, Lerone Murphy." So it looks like he will get a title shot later in the year, and it's very much deserved. 17-0 and 1 draw. He's just looked great in every fight we've seen him in, and for Aaron Pico to go into this fight favored, I felt was kind of disrespectful to him, even though Aaron Pico was good in his own right. He looked really good as well. I don't want to disparage Aaron Pico. He started off those a lot of those hits to the body just you could feel him through the screen. He has incredible power. He's also a great grappler. I think a lot of UFC fans don't understand how good Aaron Pico is on the ground. So I think he'll bounce back. I guess you could say like the worst base to have in the UFC is being a prominent fighter in another promotion. I mean, Kaya Sakura, Aaron Pico, Patchy Mix, Patricio Pitbull, just all these guys have come over with so much hype behind them, just to kind of get shut out. And as we talked earlier about Kaya Sakura, that wasn't even for him. It's more so just a style matchup. But everyone else has been, I don't know, they have not performed to that level. Obviously, a random KO is a little upsetting if you're Aaron Pico because for how good you looked in that fight. Mid first round KO for Lerone Murphy. So he will be getting a title shot in December, like we talked about. Great fight. And now let's move on to the main event. We talked about two really good fights before that. Now let's talk about the biggest stinker of a fight. Biggest stinker of a main event I think we've seen in a long time. And I don't mean that to disparage Khamzat Chimaev because if I had his skill set, I would do the exact same thing. But as you look at these statistics, it's just insane. When I first saw how many strikes he had, 529 for 567 with only 37 significant strikes. Like a lot of those were just ground and pound little jabs, but still on paper this looks like the biggest ass kicking in any UFC fight ever. And honestly, it's probably up there just because of pure dominance on the ground. As you see, 21 minutes and 40 seconds, if I knew how to highlight, of control, ground control. And it's just, if you were DDP, there's nothing you could do. And this kind of shows if DDP was able to hold him off of not getting subbed, I don't even think Khamzat wanted to sub him. There were opportunities he had where he had DDP's back, and he just kind of, there was one time where we all noticed at the watch party I was at where he just he sunk in what looked like could be a rear naked choke and then kind of just let go without trying to fight. He just wanted to maul him, and I think honestly that was his game plan, was to go in there and maul Dricus du Plessis. And I genuinely do not see a world where he doesn't have 3, 4, 5+ title defenses. There's not a lot of people in the middleweight division that have the skill set to be able to beat Khamzat. Now, I understand there's some guys that can just go in there and put his lights out, but Khamzat, as we saw today, it took nothing longer than 15 seconds for him to shoot a takedown, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Especially once you get through that first round and his opponent is so gassed, there's nothing you can do, seemingly, to stop Khamzat Chimaev. Because if he misses by any reason on his takedown attempt, he's just going to shoot another one. He's got insane cardio for the middleweight division. And he's just going to keep going. And especially for a 5-round fight, his first 5-round fight, that was very impressive because he didn't really slow down. Now, I know he's probably not too tired from just being on top the whole time, but and it helped that Dricus was severely gassed. But Khamzat looked really good for his first 5-rounder, and Dricus didn't. As for him, you can't really say a whole lot about him. He's obviously not known for his grappling, but Dricus has good grappling. It's not like he's strictly a stand-up guy. His first and second base of, MMA were grappling with judo and wrestling, but primarily a kickboxing guy. I don't know. I think Dricus is definitely still going to be in the mix to get a title rematch, but it kind of opens things up a little bit, especially, opens things up for guys like Michael Venom Page to move up, and potentially you could see Michael Venom Page versus Dricus du Plessis. I don't know. I mean, that lines up time-wise, considering they both fought on the same card. RDR still in the mix. Kamaru Usman, it just shows you how good Kamaru Usman still is to have fought short notice against Khamzat for one, and to just to have as close of a fight that they did. But overall, tonight definitely showed Khamzat Chimaev, middleweight champion of the world, 15-0, still undefeated, and just elite. So you guys let me know who you think stands the closest chance against Khamzat Chimaev. I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely do think if Kamaru Usman can get another fight in, maybe get a championship shot, but um, yeah, I don't see RDR being able to do it. I don't see Dricus doing it in a rematch for sure. There could be a world where Khamzat Chimaev is a 6'7". Okay, that's not even what I meant to do. 6'7", 8-time, title defense guy here at the middleweight division. Um, yeah, we'll have to see. Overall, those are my thoughts for UFC 319. Let me know if you guys want to see some more UFC content. I didn't prep a whole lot for this, so I definitely could have been a little bit more on that, but I appreciate you guys stopping by. UFC 320 is set to be a really good card, so we'll definitely have something coming out for that. And maybe occasionally a small video about a fight night if there's something notable. Other than that, football season coming up, baseball season winding down. So yeah, expect some more content coming from the channel. Thank you guys.